week 4 of my pregnancy.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling. We were young and drunk in love.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Another exciting video for you today. So I am just over 4 weeks pregnant. So I guess I'm 4 weeks and 5 days today. So I wanted to let you guys know all of the symptoms I have been having during my 4th week of pregnancy. I wanted to talk to you guys about the size of the baby, the type of prenatals and other vitamins and supplements that I am currently taking, as well as anything else that you guys might want to know. If there's anything that I don't answer for you in this video about my pregnancy, I would love if you would just go down to the comment section below and leave me a question, a comment, or just say hi, say congrats, whatever you'd like to say. Let me know down in the comments below so that we can make sure to continue to communicate about this pregnancy, and I can get you guys more updates in upcoming videos as I do my weekly updates for you guys. So if you have questions today, let me answer them next week. All right, guys. Without any further ado, let's get into what my week 4 of my pregnancy has been like. Okay, so I take notes on my phone just to keep track of all of my symptoms. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read through what my symptoms this week have been like. And I'm gonna start from my symptoms I've had at the beginning of the week, and then as I go through my week, I always add them in. So the symptoms at the end are gonna be more the symptoms from the end of the week. All right, let's get into it. Okay, at the beginning of the week, I had like crazy high energy. Like I was dancing, jumping off the walls. It was crazy. I don't know where that burst of energy went though, because now I am exhausted. So I don't know if it was just a fluke, but I had this crazy energy burst for a couple days. It is definitely gone now, and now I am just super, super tired. I also had a loss of appetite. I've had sort of a loss of appetite this entire week. I've been having food aversion, and slight nausea. I haven't thrown up at all, but I have been getting nausea related to food aversion, which is what I had with Chloe. During Chloe's pregnancy, the things that I couldn't eat, some of them which I loved, I couldn't eat any ground beef the entire pregnancy. I couldn't eat eggs during the first trimester, and I couldn't eat avocados during the entire pregnancy. All of those things went away as soon as I had her, and I was able to eat those things again. Just mentioning ground beef and eggs actually right now, you might have seen it on my face, made me a little bit nauseated, but one of the main food aversions I've been having is eggs. The last 3 days I've tried to eat eggs. Today I had to like force feed myself the Starbucks egg bites because I was working at Starbucks this morning, and was the only thing that I can eat there because they don't have gluten-free options really. So I ate the egg bites, and oh man, it was really rough. I got so nauseous while I was eating them and just forced them down, and like swished coffee afterwards just to try and help myself. And then I decided to pick up some Wingstop on my way home, and the smell of it in the car, yeah, I can't, oh, I'm like getting sweaty thinking about it because it makes me sick. No, sorry. So yeah, I'm having some of that sort of nausea. I haven't thrown up yet, thankfully. I hope that I don't. I hope that I can keep it like only at just feeling a little bit nauseous from smells and thoughts of food and stuff, because I didn't throw up at all during Chloe's pregnancy. So I'm really hoping that this one I will not throw up, but you never know. So that being said, those have been some of the major symptoms. I've also been extremely thirsty. I've been drinking at least 120 ounces of water every single day. That's not very irregular for me. I do drink a lot of water, but I am just going through it so much faster. Sometimes regularly I have to drink, like force myself to drink the last, filled Yeti at the end of the night just to make sure that I get my water intake. But I'm like downing these Yetis, and then I'm not needing to force myself to drink any at the end of the night because I've already, reached the quota that I wanted to. very thirsty. With that, of course, comes I'm using the restroom constantly. I already am someone who uses the restroom to go pee often anyway, but I usually don't wake up in the middle of the night to go unless I'm pregnant or, you know, like right after birth. For a while I did too. So I am waking up in the middle of the night already to have to pee. A couple of the nights this past week I have had to do that, so that's not great, but I swear that our bodies just do this to us to prep us for like newborn life, because even though I've gone through this before, Chloe sleeps 12 hours at night, so we don't wake up in the middle of the night anymore. My body's like, haha, don't forget it's gonna be crazy when the newborn comes. So it's trying to prepare me, I think, by like, okay, hey, wake up, it's the middle of the night, go pee. Which is like, cool down, like bladder, I have 9 months, I'm good. But anyway, that is definitely a symptom that I have been having as well. Let's see, cramping, yes. So I have been cramping so much, and I don't remember having cramping like this when I got pregnant with Chloe in the beginning. I had ligament pain, and I had like SPD, I believe it was called, where like your pelvis starts to separate too soon and then it causes a lot of pain. And I had those starting around 20 weeks with Chloe, but I really don't recall having like heavy, stretching, painful, you know, cramping feelings. I mean, they're not like sharp, piercing pains, but they're just kind of dull pains. And I'm getting them on both sides. I did read that because I did go through fertility treatment with this pregnancy, and I was on a lot of different hormones and medication, that sometimes that enlarges your ovaries when they're trying to stimulate the growth of your follicles. And so because the ovaries are larger when you start out, that, you know, as things are growing and stretching and everything down there, that might make you feel more cramping or might be more uncomfortable. So that's what I've read. I'm not super worried about it at all. It's just different, something that's different from the last time around. Let's see. Oh, I've been getting minor bloody noses, and that could be due to dry weather here in Chicago. It is the middle of the winter in Chicago, and I don't deal well with dry air, so that could be part of it. But I also do recall that during Chloe's pregnancy, I always had like minor bloody noses. It's not like gushing out or anything, just when I blow my nose, there's blood on the tissue. So that is a symptom of early pregnancy, I've read, so it could be from that as well. This morning and yesterday, I've had mild headaches. They went away after a little while in the morning, just woke up with them. And then after an hour or so, I didn't have them anymore. I haven't needed to take anything for them. And here's your TMI bit of my symptoms. I have been experiencing basically every time I eat, I need to like go to the bathroom like within 20 minutes of eating. And I mean, you know, go to the bathroom. So I don't know what that's about, and it's only been like the last couple of days, I would say since maybe Friday. So that's interesting as well. Okay, so on my last Wednesday was the first day that I found out that I was pregnant. That would be my day 1 of my 4th week. So on that day, I had my blood taken, and they told me that my HCG level was 214, which was so freaking exciting because I have had a previous miscarriage. During that miscarriage, my numbers were very, very low. My highest number I ever saw was a 16. So seeing a 214 like blew my mind. I went back to the doctor. It wasn't quite 48 hours yet when I went back and had my blood tested then. My number was 384, which isn't quite double, but they said that that was totally expected because it's like 48 to 72 hours that they expect it to double, and it hadn't even been 48 hours between the two blood tests. And I went back this morning to have my 3rd blood draw. I don't know my numbers yet. They're gonna call me at some point today, so I will have my numbers later today, but I will include them on the week 5 update so that you guys can know what my final blood draw numbers were. As long as they're good, guys, I don't need to get blood drawn anymore. Thank God, because my veins are so abused. I have been getting my blood drawn multiple times a week for 2 months, and it's just been a lot. Like today, my arm just was like, when she put the needle in, it was just so rough. So I'm so glad after today, as long as my numbers are good, I shouldn't need to get blood draws for a while, and I will be able to move on to ultrasound. Once they do a few ultrasounds and check that everything is good, by 8 weeks, I think 8 to 10 weeks, they'll discharge me to my regular OB, which I think will be like just so incredible to know that I don't have to keep going to the fertility center for everything anymore. I can actually start going to my regular OB and just like feel like a normal pregnant person and not like a case study. You know, sometimes you feel like a case study. There's so many numbers involved and so many, you know, all these different things that you have to get tested and things that aren't normal when you go through just a regular plain pregnancy. You know, I mean, this is a regular pregnancy too, but you know what I mean. When I was pregnant with Chloe and I didn't have to do the fertility treatment beforehand, I mean, I went to the doctor, I got an ultrasound at like 8 weeks or 6 weeks or something like that, and then I went back at like 10 weeks, got another ultrasound, you know, and it was like every 4 weeks I was at the doctor, and then in the second trimester, I think it was like every 2 weeks I was at the doctor, and then in the third trimester, it was like every week you're at the doctor or something like that. I'm at the doctor like 2, 3, 4 times a week with the fertility treatments, and it is just a lot. It's very time consuming. I have to get a babysitter, or Ryan has to stay home from work in the mornings, you know, so that I can go. I have to schedule my appointments at 6:45 in the morning so that I can get back so that he can get to work, you know, and it's just a lot. It's a lot. And so I will be actually really pleased when we're able to get through these next couple weeks and get approved to go see my OB and just start the rest of the pregnancy off as if I was just anybody else and not a you know, secondary infertility case. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you guys on the screen some of my favorite pregnancy apps. Now, I'm crazy and I like to have like 5, 6, 7, 8 different apps just for different things. So I'm going to show you guys each of the different apps, and I'll tell you a little bit about them and what I like about them.
So the Glow app I love because you can start with their period tracker app, work your way through their pregnancy app, and then they also have a post-birth app, and all of them are extremely helpful no matter what stage you're in. The Sprout app is great as well. It has really great visuals and then also has some really helpful lists for like pre-hospital and pre-birth time towards the end of your pregnancy, which are really, really great. I really especially love the Pregnancy Plus app this time around. The visuals are so beautiful. You can even pick a baby that looks like you, and you can see exactly what they look like in your womb at each stage. I use the Ovia app a lot with my pregnancy with Chloe. It has great weekly updates, and it has a cool feature where it shows you the hand and foot size of your baby in real time, which I was obsessed with when I was pregnant with Chloe, because as they get bigger and you see that hand and footprint, you're really, really amazed by how big they're actually growing inside of you. The Baby Center app is so great because it has the best articles and groups to be a part of. It has really great lists, like baby name lists and things like that. And my favorite thing that they offer is their due date calculator, because if you're anything like me, you're constantly trying to figure out when this little baby is going to be here. And last but certainly not least is the What to Expect app. The What to Expect app is made by the creator of What to Expect When You're Expecting, which is a really great book. It's a classic book that we have all probably read or been gifted at some point, or gifted to somebody else at some point. And the app does not disappoint either. It's very relatable. It has great weekly updates, and I love that it is a classic.
I'm going to read a little bit off of the Ovia pregnancy app, just telling you about what my development is today with my embryo and, you know, expected changes, stuff like that. It says your fertilized egg is now considered an embryo, which is huge in my book because I watch all these like scientific video. I'm such a nerd, guys. I literally watch like implantation videos, like fertilization videos, like where they show like the little scientific like cartoon or like digital rendering of the egg and the sperm, and then oh, it turns into the blastocyst, and oh, it's separating and it's making its way down and then implanting in the uterine wall, and then like what happens next. I just love watching that kind of stuff because I find this so fascinating. Pregnancy in my mind is such like a mind-blowing thing. Like, I think about it constantly when I look at my daughter. I say to myself, I cannot believe that you grew her with your body. Like, my husband and I created a life. I grew that life inside of me for 9 months. I birthed her out of my body, and now I've raised her to 2 years old. It just blows my mind. Like, it's incredible. It's such a freaking miracle, and it's so cool how it works. So I like to watch the scientific stuff because honestly, it helps me. It helps me get to know what's happening with my body, what's happening with my baby. And I don't remember all of it from when I was pregnant with Chloe. Like, you would think you do, but you don't. You don't have the mind space to like hold on to every single detail. So I had to, you know, make room for Chloe's life growing up, and I had to move out all of that information that I had learned about pregnancy. So now I'm reteaching it all to myself. Okay, so enough about how I'm a nerd. So it says, your fertilized egg is now considered an embryo and has settled in your uterus. The developing placenta is releasing the hormone HCG, the substance that your pregnancy test searches for the presence of. And I already told you guys what my HCG scores were.
And lastly, this is the size of my little poppy seed right now inside of my womb. At 4 weeks, your baby is the size of a poppy seed or maybe a chia seed, something like that. It's so tiny, it almost could fit on the top of a pen cap. So, if you're wondering what that looks like, I've given you a visual here on my hand so that you can see just exactly how tiny your little poppy seed is this week. I'm throwing in a quick disclaimer here. I am not a doctor, so please consult your doctor before taking any vitamins, supplements, or anything like that. Don't consume anything without your doctor knowing it, and making sure that you do your own research on your own first as well. Now, I promised I would tell you guys about the vitamins and supplements that I'm taking. So I'm taking a prenatal vitamin. This prenatal that I'm taking is by Ritual. I am in no way sponsored by them. However, these vitamins are the only prenatals I have ever taken that do not make me sick. In fact, they're the only multivitamin I have ever taken that do not make me sick, even on an empty stomach. Now, if you've taken the regular Ritual before, you'll know that it comes with like a mint, peppermint sort of essential oil thing that keeps them from going bad. Well, essential oils are sort of tricky during pregnancy, and peppermint is one of those that you're not really supposed to use. So instead, these prenatals come with a lemon-scented bar in there to keep them fresh instead. So they sort of taste like lemon as well. And lastly, I take the Natural Remedy Calc Floor, and I use this tissue salt. Not only did I use it to help with my implantation, but I will continue to use it to help with things like stretch marks and the growing uterus stretching and all of those type of things throughout my pregnancy. And here's my 4-week belly. No, that is not a bump. That is just left over from my first pregnancy. Stretching and changes to my abdomen happened during my first pregnancy, but I want to show you guys anyway.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on my week 4 update. I would love, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, if you would hit that red subscribe button. We are only in the beginning of my pregnancy, guys. We have so many more weeks to go. We have made it 1 month through the 9 months that we have left. I have a lot more videos and a lot more ideas to come, and I hope that you guys will be a part of those with me. I'm so excited to share this journey with you guys. It's just amazing for me to be able to do this. I wish I could have done it with my daughter Chloe as well, but I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to share it with you guys now. like I said before, hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. And if you want to see more videos like this, leave me comments below answering all of those things I told you earlier in the video, or just let me know, hi, how you doing? Where are you from? I'd love to know a little bit more about you down there as well. All right, guys, I love you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
We were young and we were free and running, never bothered about what could be coming. Every day we danced and life was smiling.